I also worked for a couple years for Pearl Jam.
Oh, what's up, my man?
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. Thanks for coming on. And you've worked personally with musicians such as Prince, designing his first ever live album, 2001 album called One Night Alone. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Here, this One Night Alone collection, this box set. Is this is the first one that he asked you to do? Is that correct?
That was the first big graphic project he asked me to do. So I put a lot of time and effort into that one.
Amazing. You've also worked with Avril Lavigne, done stuff for her as well.
Working with her right now.
You're working with her now. Cool.
Yeah.
She have some new stuff coming out.
Years. Probably.
As a kid, were you drawing? Were you always into art?
Yeah, I was always into art. I went to college at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, so I went to study painting and design from there. So yeah, I always had an interest in it, and I just kind of lucked out that the web was becoming a thing right when I graduated. So it was something I was very interested in. So I was able to transition to a career pretty easily.
What year was this about?
This is late 90s, around 98.
Late 90s, 98. We're getting right into freaking DSL. Remember?
Yeah.
DSL. Uh-huh. At that time, I was actually running DSL in hotels and freaking houses. I was running. That was my day job back in the 90s. I was flying all over. I was flying all over to all Northern California, going putting in banks, because banks. Uh-huh. Run hard on computers, so all the wires are underneath the floors and everything like crazy. So yeah, it was DSL madness back in those days. So you hit the graphics art right at the perfect time. How did you meet? How did you start working with Prince, by the way?
Well, it's just one of those things where I knew the right people at the right time. Like I said, I was getting into the web when it was first kicking off, and so he wanted to do some web stuff, and he wasn't with a particular record label, so he's on his own, and he decided to start doing things in-house. And so I got involved in a project, and then he liked what I did. He pulled me aside, said, let's do the MPG Music Club, which was his music service. And so that's really where things took off. And that launched in 2001. Working with a big company, or he wasn't working with just kind of signing checks. Like, he was actually involved, and it was in-house, and it was something he owned from start to finish. So that was also pretty unique and cool.
And what a blessing for you, because then he pretty much, because he's so involved, he has to hire every aspect. By the way, because you're the web designer guy, he literally has to go, hey, Sam, can you do this for me? And how much is it going to be? And write the check and do everything from start to finish, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was definitely kind of he'd just come up with ideas and say, okay, he'd come to me and he'd say, okay, do this. And then it was up to me to figure out how to do it, and who I had to talk to, and who I had to kind of bring on board to help out.
In 2020, I think they wanted to re-release this, right, Sam?
Yeah, they started a whole bunch of legacy releases, stuff that hadn't been around in a long time. And I was lucky that they came to me and said, hey, you did the original one. I'm sure you have all the material. Can you help us with this new one? And it was really great, because I got to go back and kind of fix things and move some things around and make it a better piece, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I even read that they were down with that was kind of the direction they wanted to go, that they wanted the same kind of original concept, but they did want to make it a little bit different. Was that right?
Right. I also worked for a couple years for Pearl Jam, so I was their in-house guy for a while.
Let me show them your apps that you did. Let's screen capture that.
Yeah, we did an app for Pearl Jam based on their Backspacer album.
That looks sick. Crazy.
Prince passing away is kind of what motivated me to move, because nobody expected that guy to die. He had so much energy, and he felt like he was just going to outlive all of us, be playing guitar when he's 90, sitting on a porch somewhere. Yeah. But if a guy like that can go out, just like that, then I was like, why am I wasting any of my time in a place I'm not happy with? Wow. So I quit, and I moved down to California. I like the company I work with now, so I'm hoping I can stay there for a long time. I like streaming on Twitch. I want to keep doing that and keep improving, and still come up with more emotes too. But as far as long term,
Dude,
something will come up.
How can you, like, exactly, like, there's so much shit stuff, chaoticness out there. You can't be like, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna do this. In 5 years, I have a 5-year. There's no 5-year plan anymore. There's a 5-minute plan.
No.
If you got if you can figure out your first 5 minutes, you're good. You're golden.
Yeah, totally.
Crazy life. Any shows you want to announce or anything like that?
Yeah, I've been doing this 80s pop bracket challenge lately.
Bracket?
Yeah, where I take like a bracket like March Madness, and I assign bands to each seed, and they battle each other, and then they get down to the final four, and then the championship. And so tomorrow is one of the final four battles between Prince and Madonna.
Prince versus Madonna. Dang, how do you do that? Prince is a genius, obviously. Madonna was hot back in the day. I mean, how do you pick? It's amazing. How do you do? Yeah, how's it scored? Are the polls going on, or chat going on, or what's going on?
Yeah. So what I do is I do 9 rounds, and I play one song from each group. And during the second song, I put a poll up, and everyone votes for which song they like better, and then add it up at the end.
Perfect. You do a poll and they get to vote. That's freaking awesome. Prince gonna win it all. Bet all Irish money. Betting it all. They're making bets in the chat. They're gambling in the chat for Prince. Prince versus Madonna.
Prince kind of has an edge. Where my crowd's a little biased, and then if he wins, he goes up against Michael Jackson.
Damn, Michael Jackson.
Prince versus Michael Jackson.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he made it all the way to the top.
Yeah, if there's a top, if there's somebody that you want to get to, strive to be at the very top, that makes the mountain of music. When I see it in my head and I imagine it, I see Michael Jackson like in his bad outfit like this, going, Yep. You want to come up here? What's the deal? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? That makes total sense. That's the heavyweight bout. DJ619 says that's the heavyweight bout right there. Prince versus Madonna, and then the final will be versus Michael Jackson. Holy moly!
Most likely, yeah.
Who's bad?
Most likely Prince.
You should just call that "Who's Bad."
Yeah.
DJ says Madonna will keep it close. Depends on what song she's matched up at. If you play Like a Virgin, that's a left hook. Like a Virgin's a good left hook. You know what I mean? Madonna might, give Prince a little run for his money.
She might get a few points.
Yeah, she might get a few points. She might get a few points, in that ring. It's going to be a battle. Tomorrow night, make sure you follow Sam Nation 3000 on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Sam Nation. Hit them up tomorrow at 1 p.m. Get a feel for if you've never seen the show, you're going to love the show. Get over there to the Sam Nation channel. And this is going to be a freaking bracket, an 80s bracket, so a special show. He does a lot of themes. He does Blondie nights. He does freaking Prince nights. He does a Weird Al. No, you don't do Weird Al. But he does a bunch of awesome theme nights over at the Sam Nation show. Baby Paws loves Weird Al. Crazy. My friend, thank you so much for popping in and talking to us.
Well, thanks for having me.